and all the lights that light the way are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. And baby, are you gonna be the one that...
Hello, everybody. Wow,
Hey.
we've sure gotten a lot of new followers for that podcast account the last couple of days.
Yep.
And Charlie and I knew that we would have to have a real humdinger of an episode to make sure that people were not just following the account for the Reddit posts, but actually for our commentary. And so naturally, every single piece of technology we depend on decided to fail at once.
Everything failed. Everything failed. I got pushed out of my room that I was staying in.
That, yeah. So far what has happened is, what is it? We tried to record on Thursday, but our recording, I'm not kidding, interrupted with Charlie's roommate's yoga class, and so we couldn't record because it was too loud. So we tried to record on Friday, and
that was after I went out my window to record outside.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about that. You were doing some fucking, like, 80s comedy hijinks shit to try to make the episode work. God.
Yeah.
And I think we did finish that episode, and then we wanted to record a makeup episode yesterday, but we couldn't do that because there is an issue with having Audacity on Mac OS that nobody on the Audacity team knows what it is, and nobody knows how to fix it. So we basically just had to kick that episode to today, which we're starting late because none of the fucking trains in Boston have been working for the past hour and a half.
And there was, if not for that, I would have been late to our initial time because in Seattle there was a nude homeless man in the bus lanes.
Well, that is better than what happened to the train in Boston, which is that it caught on fucking fire. So there is a very real chance. I have a dinner I was supposed to go to that I'm definitely going to be late to, and there is a very, very real chance that it won't matter that I'm late because my friends are also going to be late, because they also cannot depend on the mass transit system to actually get them around the city. So Boston just elected, basically just a younger Elizabeth Warren to be their mayor. And one of the main things she was really big on was improving the MBTA and making sure that it was both less expensive and also ran better. And legitimately, the second she assumed office, it just got worse in every single fucking way. And it's not her fault, because this is an issue with just decades long. Massachusetts loves electing shithead respectable Republicans for governors, and what's happened with that is that they just have neglected to properly fund the T for decades now, and basically what's happening now is the entire city is paying the check that Charlie Baker was too busy posing in fucking Blink-182 shirts to properly fund our trains. But now none of the trains work, and so I'm getting on late because Thursday morning there was an Orange Line train that caught on fire halfway across a bridge over the Mystic River. And everything has been broken since then.
That's such a cool name for a river in Boston.
The Mystic River, yeah.
I know, and also a movie. Have you seen Mystic River?
I have not. There is a level in Sonic Adventure 2. Or excuse me, the original Sonic Adventure
around the movie Mystic River.
Yeah, there's a early level in Sonic Adventure called the Mystic River. And so I saw that when I was 6 years old playing it for the GameCube, and I thought Sonic Adventure took place in Boston.
That's so much funnier if you've actually seen the movie Mystic River, because it's a movie about kids getting kidnapped and molested.
Do all of their rings pop out when they get
Yes, that's part of it. It's like a Lawrence Fishburne movie about like a child kidnapping ring. I remember watching it, it's not helpful. I just remember there being some detail about it that was really funny, but in a shitty way. The movie was just made in some shitty way.
Yeah.
I remember it being kind of not being very good.
I think probably the Sonic the Hedgehog inclusion in the child trafficking ring was probably
Yeah.
appropriate.
Yeah.
It really cut through the mood when the main characters were trying to rescue the kidnapped kids, and one of the kidnappers yelled, "You're too slow!" And, you know, we're
Actually,
kind of a very somber atmosphere here. And
that actually, you know what's fucking funny is that I just remembered the opening is that it involves 3 kids. One of them does get, like, kidnapped, and then the other 2 are running away from the, like, pedophile as they, like, look back at their friend who's been kidnapped. So it is sort of like, you know, you're too slow.
Yeah. I feel like the inclusion of including a Dr. Eggman-built molestation robot was probably kind of... you know, there's just some tonal dissonance going on there. It's supposed to be a very serious movie. But the inclusion of Rouge the Bat diving off of a tower directly into a child's pussy was probably... Jesus Christ.
Welcome to the podcast.
Oh my god. This is...
I mean, I shouldn't be... Well, I would be like, oh, you're too... But, like, a lot of the, like, attention we got was from Justin Wang RTing our account, and, like, he does, like, YouTube videos about the My Little Pony cum jar, so...
Yeah, I don't know, man. That feels like a curse a little bit. I don't want to be... I don't want to have clips of me going around being praised by, like, the well-kept Groiper. That's a curse in its own right, man.
The well-kept Groiper was one of the Republican mayors of Boston.
Republican governors. The mayors are usually Democrats.
Yeah. The Martha's Vineyard Groiper.
We're so good at just electing the most beloved guys in history. We had Marty. Everybody loved Marty, and then he went to go work for President Biden. And then before that, we had Thomas Menino, who probably second to only Tom Brady in terms of the most universally beloved people in Boston.
Yeah. And then there was that year that everyone thought Mark Wahlberg was the mayor.
No, that did not happen. Sorry. You're clearly not a real Boston head if you think that any real Boston citizens thought Mark Wahlberg was the mayor, because he's not even like really that popular in Boston. You know, you sound like stupid right now. I really you don't know anything about Boston.
This is your classic Boston accent, also.
Yeah, actually, all the
Boston
people who
Shapiro.
you think of as a Boston accent mutated to the suburbs. Everyone who lives in the city proper has a chronic case of what is referred to as Millhouse voice.
Yeah. Did I ever tell the story about the when I like identified the the mayor candidate in on my high school news? Like, is that ringing a bell?
No, I have no idea.
Okay. So, it's fine if I it's. You can't dox me for a high school that I went to. That doesn't whatever.
Just watch me, motherfucker.
Well, I mean, it's fine if people know. I don't care if people put that piece together. But it was so I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota, and we had at my high school we had this morning news program. Every morning, it's students read the announcements, and it's 10 minutes long or whatever. And because one of the candidates for mayor, and it's it's a mid-sized solidly Democratic city. So it was I think both the candidates didn't have parties, but both of them were pretty similar. And this one of the candidates, Melvin Carter, who's the current mayor, he won his election, but this is when he was a couple weeks before his election.
You guys elected a motherfucker named Melvin?
Yeah.
Mayor Melvin?
But
was he
here's
a
the
cartoon fox?
No, he was well, here's the thing is that I kind of knew who he was, but I wasn't that confident. I'd seen maybe a couple pictures of him, and I saw that there was he's a black guy, and I just saw him on the news. I was like, oh, is that Melvin Carter? And I was saying it out loud because I wasn't entirely sure. And then one of my teachers was like, oh, guys, it's Melvin Carter on the news. And I just had this, my stomach just dropped. So it was what if that's just some black guy? It's yeah, if you look up pictures of him, he doesn't have huge distinguishing features. And I was not confident in my ability. It turns out it was him. But there was a second where I was like, oh no.
Yeah. There was a thing that happened at my college where I think the theater director mixed up the only two black guys who were in a play when he was like making the pamphlets to advertise it. Is he had one labeled with the other one's name?
Oh no! The other one was labeled Samuel L. Jackson.
The other one was labeled Barack Obama.
Yeah, Barack. Yeah. Yeah, one of them was W.E.B. Du Bois. Another Boston staple.
Sorry, say that again?
W.E.B. Du Bois. I took a class, and that's how it's pronounced.
That's how it's pronounced, really?
It's pronounced Du Bois, yes.
That's... Alright, I was gonna make fun of you for not saying Du Bois, but now I feel fucking stupid. Turns out I was the... guys, you're not gonna believe this. It's turned out it was the white guy from Boston who thought something stupid about a famous black person.
That's fair. I mean, that's way less embarrassing than if it was Dubois and you called him Du Bois.
Yeah, that'd be right. Hey, do you know W.E.B. Du Bois?
Yeah, Du Bois. So...
Or doing the other thing where you say, like, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah, do you guys... Who's that actor, Samuel Hussein Jackson? You're like, no, that's not it. Oh.
That's a different guy.
Do you want to read the first Ask Reddit I sent about a random nobody?
Alright. Alright, so, r/Ask Reddit from No Way Jacques. That's not the guy we're having on. How can a random nobody start a war? Well, the first step is to get rejected from arch school.
Yeah,
actually, no, the top answer is murdering an archduke, which is a much better, more historically correct answer.
I like the ambiguity of like this. It's like it's because it sounds like a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
It's like, how can a random nobody start a war? But it's also like, as a random nobody, I want to start a war.
Yeah. It sounds like something like a 1940s Looney Tunes thing would start with.
Yeah.
Where like Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck is like walking around, like their hands behind their back, and they're like kicking a pebble down the road over and over on purpose, and they're like, "Oh, jeez, how can a random nobody like me start a war?" Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they fight. Then they beat up a Japanese person.
Like, the sacred glass cup.
Yeah.
And they jump up into the air and flap their arms and then kick it over and break it.
Yeah, not much there. I just liked how sort of rhetorical it was. And then we also have Ask Reddit After Dark, which, for those who don't know, is the NSFW version. But this one isn't really. I guess maybe not as NSFW, but it's definitely something. Okay, I got it. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah. Alright, so, Ask Reddit After Dark. Last night, I started getting thirsty in my sleep, so I dreamed that I got behind a guy at a vending machine and clubbed him to death before stealing his Mountain Dew. Also, he was a Satanist. What do you make of this dream? I would make of this dream, probably, if I had to guess, I would say that you should do this in real life. I think that this is most likely a sign from God. Yeah. And God is telling you, hey, if you ever get thirsty in real life and you see a guy at a vending machine, you need to kill him. Like, this is really, this could be, like, cosmically important. Like, this guy could be, like, he could be, like, the next Osama bin Laden. He could be planning right now to fly 3 planes into the Empire State Building. And he got thirsty before he was going to execute his plan, and he wanted to go get a Mountain Dew, and you were thirsty and you saw that, and you need to pick up a blunt object, like a pipe, or perhaps a bottle of whiskey, and club him to death. That is what you need to do. Because if you don't, thousands of people could die. You can't ignore dreams like this. Like, this is... Yeah. Like, ignoring a dream like this is spitting in the face of the powers that be.
Yeah. God damn it. We were talking about, like, technology interfering with us earlier, but I am, like, literally... I am going to have to they should sound fine in post, because I'll, like, lower the levels of, like, my gain. But it's, like, I have, like, the mic, like, a couple feet away from my mouth, and it's, like, maxing out the levels. Even after I adjust the gain accordingly.
This has been the most controversial technology break.
I wish it was.
Charlie has ever worked.
No, you know what? It used to work, and now it doesn't. Oh my god. Anyway, this should sound fine in post, but I might be a bit. Anyway, what was I gonna? Oh yeah, so I was I'm gonna send you one. This is just another Ask Reddit that I want you to.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, you're asking me if I move closer to the mic. I thought you were saying I was too loud.
No, you're too quiet.
Oh,
you're quiet
okay.
as fuck, dude.
I'm maxing out my levels on my Audacity. So I guess, how do I sound now?
Still kind of quiet, but it's whatever.
Okay.
More importantly,
how about yeah?
That's much better.
Okay.
How often do you appreciate the beauty of an older Asian person?
It's a good question.
Charlie, can I ask you something, dude?
Yeah. How did I find this?
How often do you appreciate the beauty of an older Asian person?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Probably when, like, I'm playing a Hearts of Iron 4 mod, and, there's, like, a particularly well-done portrait.
I feel like too many people focus on how good Genghis Khan was at steppe warfare, and not enough on how big his dick print was. Because, you know, that guy was packing. Isn't there, like, a stat that's, like there's this not insignificant percentage of the world's population that is all descended from that one guy because he had that much sex?
Yeah. That was, like, from before he was, like, a Khan.
That was not because of the conquest. That was not because of harems. It's because he was walking around with this giant-ass fucking dick print just pushing its way through his yak fur shorts.
Yeah.
He was flexing at all the Mongolian beaches.
Yeah. All those wonderful beaches of Mongolia.
Yeah.
That's where Lil Pump is performing.
Yeah.
Or wait, fuck, is that Lil...
Yeah, that's Lil Pump. That's Lil Pump.
Yeah, he's doing a performance in Ulaanbaatar.
And before he went to Ulaanbaatar, he contacted the authorities there, and he's like, "Are you sure Genghis Khan is dead? Because if I go to Ulaanbaatar and Genghis Khan is still alive, there's just no way I'm getting any pussy."
No,
like,
I think...
I cannot compete with that level of virility. That level of charisma and confidence.
I think that Lil Pump and Genghis Khan should link up.
Lil Pump would never do that though, because like Lil Pump is a fake alpha, and Genghis Khan is a real alpha. Like there's no way Lil Pump's his ego and his kind of awareness of his place in society. He wouldn't be able to put that away to link up with Genghis Khan. And I'm not even sure their styles would even like mesh well together. But even if you were able to prove that they did, there's no fucking way that Lil Pump would be willing to hook up with Genghis Khan. Because
Hi, Palma. Palma's
I'm in the middle
here.
of something, okay? I'm in the middle of something. I'm making
No, go off. I'm sorry.
Here, which is that, like, Charlie is trying to propose to us that Lil Pump and Genghis Khan should link up. And I'm trying to fucking explain that Lil Pump is just like, he's too insecure to fucking link up with Genghis Khan. If you're looking at a guy who was that good at steppe warfare and battlefield tactics, and also just had like a massive fucking dick print and fucked like 1,000 bajillion times and had like thousands of fucking kids, Lil Pump is thinking like, what am I possibly going to even offer this type of guy? Because he's going to go out in public with Genghis Khan, and the girls are going to look at these two together, and they're going to think, I'm not even attracted to Lil Pump anymore. Because I'm seeing him compared to Genghis Khan, and I'm realizing what a fucking fake and a fraud he is. That's the fucking issue.
You're forgetting that Lil Pump did like an event with Trump, and I'm not saying Trump is necessarily, you know, a dominant alpha male, but I am almost certain that that's what Lil Pump thinks. Anyway,
No,
Palma's here.
Here's what I think. By the way, hello.
Shut the fuck up, you little geek.
That's very kind of you. But I think you're wrong about that, because sure, Lil Pump did a show with Trump, right? That's fine. But think of it like sometimes you smoke too much weed and you're like, oh shit, this is the highest I've ever been before. This is crazy. And then you actually try something way harder. That's the difference between Genghis Khan and Trump. Lil Pump met Trump and he's like, oh, this is this guy's I think this guy's a super cool alpha male. But he's still within my level. And then he moves on to Genghis Khan, and that's the real hard shit. And he's like, I can't even fucking compete with this, and I'm so scared of trying to compete with this that I can't even let him be near me. So I know that when he was planning out that concert in Mongolia, he called the fucking authorities, and he made sure that Genghis Khan was dead and in the fucking ground, because he could not fucking step to that kind of power. He just couldn't. He's not cut out for it.
Anyway, Palma's here. Hi, Palma.
Hey. Sorry, oh my god, it's been an insane weekend. They're having their municipal holiday here. 1 weekend a year, Spaniards get to really go off and go crazy in the streets. And in a state or municipal sponsored Bacchanal. So they have a concert and shit downtown. And the bus that I was on, I was at my Sneaky Link's place at a ticket appointment across town. And to get across town, you have to go through the downtown area, which is just an entire parade of drunk people, drunk Spaniards, and cops trying to peel rapists off Spanish women. So it was a fucking odyssey to get here, but I'm glad I finally got in. So how much did I miss?
Not too much, honestly.
About 20 minutes.
We were talking.
About 45 minutes, perfect.
We talked
wow.
about just all the issues that we had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was maybe 10 minutes of actual posts, and then 10 minutes of us discussing. Palma, did you know Charlie, in an effort to record an episode where his roommate got mad at him for interrupting a Zoom yoga class,
my
crawled
roommate,
out of
who
his
is
window
a
to get
60-year-old man.
Yeah.
I had to
you're crawling into windows to appease 60-year-old men.
Yeah, that's what.
Got him.
Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah. No, I'm it's the opposite of fucking of Say Anything, where I'm crawling outside to record something.
I don't know. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't know what Say Anything is, but I get what you're going for.
It's the in your eyes.
It's the boombox over their head serenading.
Just playing the podcast.
A white woman. Yeah, that's the Say Anything. The gritty Disney remake of Say Anything.
But Palma, we do have an important question to ask you now that you're on.
Yeah.
How often do you appreciate the beauty of an older Asian person?
I don't know. I haven't seen George Takai on Twitter in a minute, but
he's
about as often as he appears on my timeline.
He's doing the Lord's work, and he's looking good doing it.
I'm just saying. I wish he could be less than me. That's all I'll say.
I met George Takai once. It was doing what Palma wished happened. I was.
Charlie, I also have suffered from depression.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. So I just sent something to show link. So I think something that I wanted to go over. There's a surprisingly large subreddit for the band Oasis. Who did Wonderwall, which I was surprised that it has 30,000 people.
They did what?
The band Wonderwall.
What they did? What, Charlie?
Wonderwall.
What's that?
I assume you're fucking with me. What? You know what?
Have you seen the Oasis concert where they're high on meth?
Fucking second, you did believe me.
No, you know what?
For a second there, you were like, "Does he not know?"
I'm gonna tell you why I believed you is because one of the funniest things that I think is I've ever seen on the internet, maybe, is that group chat. I think it's a group chat Palma's also in, but it's when Wonderwall came up, and Delaney said, "What's Wonderwall?" Or I think Oasis came up, and she was like, "What's Oasis?" I was like, "Oh, it's like they made Wonderwall," and she's like, "I don't know what that is. I'm gonna go listen to it." And then she was just like sending messages. She was like, "This is the stupidest gay bullshit of a song I've ever heard for the first time."
That's also very funny, but I must remind everyone here that there was a moment yesterday where Charlie sent an Ask Reddit post that he was positive was one of the funniest things he had ever heard in his life.
Okay.
And it was the opening lyrics to Lose Yourself by Eminem,
That's fair enough.
which Charlie had never heard and therefore didn't understand.
No! Stop
serious.
it. No,
This
no,
actually
no,
happened.
no.
This 100% happened. I'm not kidding. Charlie was like, dude, look at this. It's the weirdest fucking Ask Reddit thing I've ever seen. It's like if you had one shot, one opportunity to prove. And I was like, this is the opening lyrics to Lose Yourself, right? And he was like, I don't know what that is.
I know what the song Lose Yourself is. I know what Lose Yourself is.
No, you did not recognize the very, very famous
I didn't
opening
recognize the
lyrics to Lose
opening
Yourself.
lyrics, but I know what the song Lose Yourself is.
Every 9-gagger worth their salt knows Mom's spaghetti.
I knew that line. I listened to Lose Yourself after just sitting in my backyard, after being kicked out, just listening to Lose Yourself.
you were thinking about boxing.
I mean, it's the one rap verse that white people can sing along to without bumping
no,
into
dude,
an
trust
N-word.
me, I listen to tons of Will Smith. I don't know what you're talking about here, man.
Yeah, that's... But yeah,
Absolutely
is this...
nobody compares to me when Parents Just Don't Understand comes on. I'm killing it.
I'm like... I feel so... I wish I could... I'm going back through my, search history, because I was also on the subreddit for funk, because Palma is one of those people that,
yes.
I just will, randomly, just post, 2-hour playlists that he's put together of, funk music that, 5 people heard in the 1970s.
No, that's true. He's actually very indirectly, through Spencer, turned me on to some pop albums that I actually really, really like. You were fucking, what was it, Minako Yoshida? Monochrome? I fucking love that record.
Yes. Well, yeah, Minako Yoshida is Japanese Laura Nero. She has kind of the same vocal vibe. And in the 70s, she also got into that kind of AOR, disco-y kind of rock vein, city pop that a lot of people go gaga for online. But no, she's an amazing vocalist for jazz, and I guess she's really made an impact. But recently, I've been getting into a lot of prog. Felix, speaking of musical influences, has been posting nonstop about fucking Pink Floyd for the past 6 months. So last week I got supremely high, and I was like, I only have I think I only had Piper at the Gates of Dawn on my computer, and so I went and downloaded everything else basically, up until The Wall. And I've been having a great old time listening to fucking Pink Floyd. It's been great. Before this, I've been listening to prog rock.
See, that's
heavily.
my thing. Is I'm so desperate. Part of the reason I gravitated towards monochrome and people talking about Steely Dan so much is that I have so little music that is chill in any way, because I listen to so much metal and so much of it is bad. And so I hit a point last year where I'm I need music where nobody is screaming. And I have very little of that.
My music, I think I've said it on the podcast before, but it's very, because I have fucking, I have autism, and I, just get, really weird about music and, sound. I listen to music now, but, all throughout high school, I just, didn't listen to music, really. And partially it was because, I did not listen, that was, probably that's more psychotic than if I cut the heads off cats.
Yeah, that's who fucking we got Hassan Piker co-hosting here. Jesus,
yeah.
You didn't listen. In high school I kind of just didn't eat food. Actually, wait, a lot of people had eating disorders. Shit. I was just trying to think.
I mean, at a certain level, at a certain level, you have to respect people for whom, like, Tonight We Are Young sounds like tinnitus, you know?
No, I mean, like,
the beats change once and they're like, whoa! What's going on here?
Holy fuck, they're changing rhythms. Mother of mercy. Yeah, I used to work in retail, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, just like hearing the same playlist over and over again. And my manager was completely nonplussed by it. It drove me up the motherfucking wall, and this guy was totally chill with listening to fucking... They made me hate the new Real Estate album because for some reason, I guess like the distribution arm, like whoever was in charge of payola at Domino Record Company, told them, "Hey, listen, you got to play this like Brooklyn band album into pump it into the like H&M for hillbillies. They'll really like that."
Oh God, yeah.
I hated that album.
I'm just thinking about like if Palma, if I worked with you, you would have like slit my fucking throat on day 2 because I remember when I was like working in like this like small ice cream place. I remember it was like we were like closing up. And someone passed me the aux cord. This is when I was like 16. I just started playing fucking Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. And someone should have like thrown a brick at my head.
Do you play it right like then at a retail fucking place?
Yes,
that's awesome.
I did.
That sucks. When I never worked in a department store or anything like that. My retail job was working the desk at a gym, at a YMCA. And I think I was usually like the closer when like one person would come in every like 15 minutes. And so whenever I was alone, I would just throw on the Thursday night or Monday night football game. And that would be how I would entertain myself. So I had as far as retail goes, I had a pretty fucking easy time with it. Although I did once get death threats because I wouldn't give a guy a towel. That was
he's just standing there completely nude.
Yeah, no, we like had to.
How am I supposed to wipe the loads down without a towel?
Policy about when we were allowed to give people towels and when they paid for them, and he was like, my wife is going to see me come home, and I'm still going to be gross and sweaty. And there was also we had like one guy who would come in basically just to talk to us about like his libertarian conspiracy theories. He had insisted that he had come up with what he described as a libertarian solution for healthcare, but the Democrats were shutting him down and sending.
Is it going messages. To the gym?
Yeah. Well, he was like an older guy. He wasn't there to work out. He mostly just wanted people to talk to. But he would insist that I think he said that Hillary Clinton was personally scared of him because his ideas were too dangerous. He would never elaborate on what the libertarian solution for healthcare was. But the way that he was going to make people hear about it, I swear to God, I'm not making any of this up, is that he was going to do a comedy routine that people were going to film at our YMCA, and he was going to do it entirely in blackface. I don't know why, but this was an essential part of it. He was like mixed race himself, so I guess he just wanted to go like a little bit darker.
I guess that's something.
But he had some really specific routine that had to be in blackface, and he was going to make it, and he was going to film it, and it was going to go viral because it was super funny. This was an essential part of the plan. And once he was, famous, but as like a jester, as a comedy guy, he was then going to start promoting his libertarian ideas about saving the American healthcare system.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but isn't this literally what Dave Chappelle has been trying to do for the past 5 years at this point?
Yeah.
100%.
It's like every other comedian is like a libertarian. At least, like, presumably, like, every other comedian over the age of, like, 30.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess good for...
Yeah, because it's all dumbass people, like, who's, like, this is their first time, like, meeting head-to-head with the IRS and, like, having to pay income taxes.
Or really hardcore Warren fans. Every single Warren fan's routine is about their immigrant parents and their diaspora conflict. There are 7 million bajillion comedy specials about people dealing with the pressure of diaspora. 100%.
Yeah.
That's fucking fields upon fields of them.
What was that? Oh, I forgot to, like, give the details, like, why I didn't really listen to music. Because I was sort of interested in rap music, but I was like, and this is like me being... No.
You would become too afraid when you started listening?
No, kind of, but it's because...
What do you mean by kind of, Charlie?
explaining it now. It's because when I was in like 7th or 8th grade, my dad explained like the N-word to me, and what I got from that was that like as a white person, I shouldn't listen to any music that has the N-word in it. So I was,
I mean,
so I was like, oh, I can't listen to this. I'm gonna listen to Bare Naked Ladies a bit more.
Oh my God,
like
that's so funny.
Yeah. So that's why, yeah. And then I was just like, yeah, going throughout high school, just doing that. I was like, I wonder why I can't stop thinking about things that just hurt my brain.
What does that have to do with the Bare Naked Ladies?
Because the Bare Naked Ladies are like white rappers. They're,
Got you.
like,
Okay,
safe.
that's good. I've never actually listened to the Bare Naked Ladies, so I'm.
Their music for.
I had the opposite problem, Charlie. I used to be really afraid of the Bare Naked Ladies because I thought it was two women.
I was gonna say, yeah.
My gay ass was scared as fuck.
Oh yeah, so Palma, I sent something in show links. This is the funk post that I was looking for. I don't know if you want to read it. I like the way it's phrased.
Okay. Should I put on a voice for it?
You're reading that John Coltrane Pitchfork review.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit, who do you think is the funkiest person alive right now? And who is the funkiest person that ever lived? As a musician and as a person. For me, I think it would have to be Bootsy or Mono Neon. Mono Neon? Who the fuck is that? Is that a rave asshole? Is that like some
if
sort
you don't
of
know
like
who
rave
it is, then
fucker?
I can only assume. Oh yeah, no, it is. It is an American bassist and
experimental musician and songwriter, known for his presence on YouTube playing bass guitar, and known for being one of the last people to work with Prince.
He looks like one of the like the other, like when the uncle from LMFAO was choosing a nephew to start the band with.
This was the gay nephew that was rejected.
He couldn't quite get into it. Oh fuck, is it?
I mean, to be honest, the funkiest person that ever lived, my vote, Miles Davis.
Probably.
We've
That's
got
a
to
good
vote
vote.
for Prince at the very bottom here.
At the very bottom.
Very talented guy, but I would not say he's particularly famous for funk.
Yeah.
Nate Ruiz is in the argument. No, he's not.
The funkiest guy in history. The guy who did Mambo No. 5 for Louis Vega.
That's Jesus. Yeah, people are George Clinton. Oh, okay. Defendable answer. Yeah, Hillary Clinton. No one said that. I'm saying that.
I think depending on your how racist you are, like funky as in bad, maybe.
Fucking like 1950s Klansmen using funkster as like a derogatory term.
Oh my god!
You start beefing at the Klan meeting, and Grand Goat Prince Horace calls you a funkster.
Yeah. Yeah.
People, funk was treated by Klansmen kind of like COVID was.
Oh
where
god!
People were worried about catching the funk.
Yeah. That's
why they wore the hoods. That's why they wore the hoods. They like needed.
I bet there's like some music video from the 1980s that like a studio made sure never got put online, where like some funk musician like just shows up to like a KKK rally and then like turns on a boombox and they all start dancing.
That would have been sick, dude. I would have watched the fuck out of that video. You know, actually, a fun fact is there are also some videos that you can't release online today.
I guess that's true.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Gus, do you want to read this one? It's another one from Oasis.
Alright. r/Oasis. Alright, the question is, who is a worse person? This is about either Charlie or me. So, Palma, you have to decide.
No, it's...
okay.
Come on.
I guess I'll have to flip a coin.
Flip a coin.
The other one is the funkiest.
The other one is the funkiest? I'd say Gus would be the funkiest. Autistic people have no
true.
funk. I'm sorry.
Honestly,
Is that
you
the
know,
worst person?
No, that means that you're not. I think. Or maybe it does.
I should let you know I am also very autistic, though.
It depends on whether or not you're racist.
Wait, Palma, are you not white?
No, I'm
spunky.
Latino.
Fuck this, man.
I'm firmly in the Hispanic.
I need to get a soundboard so much. Oh yeah, Gus said he had to leave, so he might just be gone forever now.
Good.
Yeah, I need to.
And anyway, where were we?
Oasis. Who's the worst person? So the actual question is someone asking whether Noel or Liam Gallagher is worse. Oh no, that's yeah, no, he's actually just saying that he's gone. Bye, Gus.
All right, bye.
From
I was trying to bring this up earlier, but have you seen the concert that they performed while high on
you
meth?
sent that. I need to. That's like, fuck. Yeah, I totally should. I'm gonna bookmark that now that you sent that. Is that like something that they confirmed afterwards, or yeah, no, that's, oh yeah, and someone gave like timestamps for when, and maybe that's like how I get into Oasis, because I think I've like I've really only heard Wonderwall, and then the
none of these are from What's the Story,
Yeah.
Morning Glory, which is the only Oasis album I know. Honestly, like, you picked the wrong genre
Yeah,
for me
honestly, I mean,
to guest on, because like Britpop is not my wheelhouse.
Fine. I mean, I think I also did that because the intro music to the show I started using was a have you ever heard the Mike Flower Pops Wonderwall? It's like kind of it's like kind of shitty, but I like it because it's like kind of shitty. It's this guy that does I think Gus described it as Michael Bublé Wonderwall. He does this yeah, he does this like kind of fucking, I don't even know how to describe it. I just sent the link. You can just tell from like the thumbnail what it is. I don't care if it's.
Oh yeah, okay, no, I see what you mean. Yeah, it's a very like Engelbert Humperdinck style, like 50s lounge. Yeah, no, fuck yeah. This is like what Mike Myers saw on acid that implanted implanted Austin Powers into his brain.
I was on the Oasis subreddit and I saw that like someone posted that, and all the comments were like, "I'm gonna kill myself. This fucking sucks." It's like, wow, you really don't like it. Yeah,
that's brilliant.
Because it's not, yeah, it's like not like it's like a 1-to-1 cover. It's like not like supposed to be disrespectful, and it's well made. They're like, this fucking sucks, dude. Don't make fun of them like this.
I love how like it in certain like niche or internet niches, and I think that in particular like on Reddit, they are more averse to these sorts of like high production value spoofs. You know what I mean? They kind of get jealous. I don't know. I think that seems the vibe. I love that little the swing version of Wonderwall.
No, I love it. Maybe they're averse to it because Wonderwall is notable for being a song that requires one guitar and one shitty dude. Like, it's
true.
I mean, I don't know, maybe the actual music video for it is I haven't seen it, but I assume it's just like the Johnny Cash Hurt music video. He's just sitting there in a room alone, like reflecting. No, I don't know.
It would have to be some insane like crackhead concept, because if they were like on meth in the 90s, who fucking knows, man? Like they could be doing anything. It could be like an ode to public masturbation, like on the bus or something. I only really know What's the Story, Morning Glory from. Do you know Yumi Zuma? They're like a indie pop whatever band from like the mid-teens. Yeah, they were like kind of ish big, but they haven't done anything in a long time. And the last thing they did, or that I remember that they ever did, was a covers LP of What's the Story, Morning Glory, for like a like one of those Vinyl Me Please things, but like even more obscure. I couldn't even get a copy of it. It's that obscure. I had to get a friend, like this Israeli vinyl dealer that I know from like trading vinyl records or like vinyl rips online. Got it for me, and it's amazing. And it's like all synth poppy versions of like Wonderwall and Roll With It and Don't Look Back in Anger and everything like that.
That sounds fun. Maybe I'll
send you a zip of it if you want. Because it stands up on its own. Like the music is great. Like the Oasis brothers are fucking fantastic musicians. And like it in the hands of like someone who has an idea of where it's going and how to not make it super corny. It's hard to like recommend covers LPs on their own.
But anyway, so someone was just asking which brother is the worst person. From what I understand, Liam and Noel hate each other, right? Or they're not on good terms. Yeah. So now they're just saying like they're comparing like how they've like who's like said the worst thing to each other to decide who's a worse person. And then in the comments, people are like saying, people are like weighing it, but then the OP replies to someone saying, I couldn't give a shit. They haven't like done anything like that horrible. And they said they're heroes to millions. So they're just like, they already like Liam and Noel, but they're heroes to millions. But like of these heroes, like who's worse?
Yeah, it's such a stupid question. It's very much like I'm trying to look like I know about these things, but or I'm making a post explicitly just to flex how much I know about this band.
All the Oasis player stats.
That has ostensibly millions and millions of fans. You know, they're literally heroes to millions.
But yeah, so if I guess sort of moving away from that, it's the one that I sent. This was, it was just above what Gus sent about going to dinner. I found this subreddit called Anti-Sex. And it's like, it's not like asexuals. It's like people who just despise the idea of sex in general. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a nice, that's a nice nuance.
So they're, I don't know if you want to just read like the title of this one.
Sure. I honestly don't know what to make of this. First of all, before I get into it, is this more of a, how much do you know about the subreddit? Is it like a very like
it's
Christian
not explicitly
vibe
Christian. It's like
or religious in any way?
I think some of them are religious, but it's much more like it's sort of framed like a political move, like just the way like someone is anti like
gotcha, just
something like on the internet.
So this, because for Reddit, like who fucking knows, man? Like this could be normal. I'm gonna start reading it now because I can't tease the audience anymore. The King of Demons by
That's a lot of four.
Fantassin. Yeah, it's fours instead of A's. This is so fucking annoying. It's
Nana something. Anyway, the King of Demons.
We can list many well-known demons that live within us: the ego, greed, selfishness, gluttony, anger.
Yeah.
Wow, you're listing all of them, dude. But there's a demon that is probably the most powerful of all, since it's the one that has wreaked the most havoc on humanity, from my point of view. The demon of sexual lust, the king of demons.
Yeah,
sounds cool to me. He sounds like a chill hang. I want you to think for a moment about the damage that the demon of sexual lust has done to humanity versus the damage that the rest of the demons that we've mentioned have done. One, pornography. There's no need to explain the damage it causes.
There isn't a need to explain that damage.
You're preaching to the choir here, man. You should go on r/wild
and post this.
Post this.
They're all like, okay, it's like somewhat well received. I'll read number 2. Number 2 is masturbation. If you still doubt that this is bad, reconsider your existence. I don't get number 3. I don't get how they're like, I guess they're anti-masturbation because it's like a sex thing, but it's like baby steps, man. Like, you know, if you don't want people to have sex.
Yeah.
Number 3 is ejaculation without purpose. Each ejaculation literally takes your life. It is an alchemical process which you sacrifice something of equal value, semen, to create something of equal value, a child. But if you ejaculate in a condom in the bathroom on the floor, you are poisoning the temple of God and all that he is doing. Something of
one thing, it's not equal value because a child can get you a beer from the fridge, whereas semen makes you slip on the floor and maybe break a bone.
Yeah, definitely according to this guy as to where you ejaculate in a condom in the bathroom or on the floor. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Before this guy discovered anti-sex, his floor was just like, it was just fucking disgusting.
It's 10 points officially on the list, but there's one that's multiple. It's number 7. It's the disintegration of homes. Like, sorry, before I go on, like, this is all like straight up like Catholic, like anti-sex or like sex ed stuff, like straight up. So 4 is sexual debauchery. 5, unnecessary overpopulation. I'm going to have the children that God gives me. Is what the couple dominated by the demon of sexual lust would say. Like having children is an excuse to have sex, which is.
I have to doubt this guy's Catholic credentials.
In Latin America, I've seen several families that are like that. Mormons too. More members and fewer resources. And here's 7, which is like a multi-list. It's like it has a sub-list.
Like a math textbook.
7, disintegration of homes. My wife is old. I'm going to leave her because this other girl has a big ass, and I'm going to support her with resources. The man who has a VIP position in hell, leaving his family alone. What can go wrong?
Sugar baby resources, you know, wood, steel, food supplies, anything she needs to survive.
Yeah, I'm just bringing the. I got a couple of Davy Crockett's that my baby mama needs to power her homestead.
But the
so if I give my bitch some fruit or whatever, some supplies, we get 7.1, a stepfather who mistreats children. 7.2, single mother looking for men to support them.
Is that what simps are? I mean, I haven't heard that word in a long time, but I also don't think that's what that means.
I mean, not all simps.
I always got that was just guys that like reply to women on Twitter, and they're like, you know, pleased to see your ass many times.
The average film critic. Yeah, actually, hang on. If we take all this away, what are film critics going to do on Twitter if there's no single mothers?
That's a good question. Yeah, they're gonna
support their children.
Yeah, they're gonna starve. They're just gonna die off like the dinosaurs.
They're gonna actually start molesting children for real, instead of just living through, single mothers posts.
Yeah, someone's gonna walk into the letterbox offices, and it's just gonna look like a level from Doom. It's just gonna be it's gonna be awful.
Yeah, the Venn diagram of like accounts on Letterboxd that have pro membership, and the accounts like where the emails are on some NSA list is one circle.
Oh god. And then
shout out Harry Eskin.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. So 7.3 is rebellious children by not having a father figure, whatever. 7.4 delinquent
children who are involved with drugs, daughters who are prostitutes or with pregnancies at the age of 15
specifically. Only
15. Yeah. Go on and on the list. 8 simps. A man who dominates himself will never be a simp. Today, more than half of men are simps, and women raise their hypergamy by returning to the dating market. A complete Sodom and
More
Gomorrah.
than half of men are simp. This like this reminds me of like fucking. It's like it's a Pot About List episode that I'll like listen to again because it's like very funny. But they just like went over this like PUA site where like this guy laid out the math of like. It's like half of like all men are tricks, and then 25% of men are considered like player max. I hope this guy has like a similar. I hope this guy has a similar calculus. Half of men are simps. That
Half of men are. I'd love to see the source for that.
Like what? I mean, he must be like maybe he's on film Twitter. Yeah.
Maybe he's maybe he's a simp himself. Maybe he used to be one. But a very unsuccessful one. Maybe he was in Hessa's replies for most of 2021, but not even a fab back.
He saw that not even Alec Baldwin could get any. He's like, I'm done with sex altogether. If Alec Baldwin can't, then what hope do I have?
If she'd rather reply to Sanj, I swear to God.
Yeah, I was thinking about.
I'm gonna make the Oklahoma City bombing look like a fucking kindergarten.
I was thinking about like that thought did come into my mind about like how I like have something that like the one thing that I have that like you know like minor Saudi princes desperately want but will never have is like speaking to Hessa like a couple times. It's
Oh my God! Can you imagine? She would be the most beautiful toilet in all of Dubai.
It's like, it's nice to know that I have access to something that they would like, they would like throw like their 15 Filipina maids into, you know, a Sarlacc pit for.
Yeah. No, they would 1,000,000% start like a coup in Saudi Arabia. They would kill the king just to sniff her like a day-old thong.
Yeah, they reconcile with Iran so they can import like their homosexuality laws about trans people.
MBS promised to stop shelling Yemen as long as he gets all her used estradiol needles.
But yeah, number 9 is seeing women as objects. The King of Demons makes you look like an idiot seeing that women on the street with that huge butt, and at the same time makes you think that you would do what you would do to her in bed, knowing that a woman's body is a temple of God and should not be desecrated by lust. Oh yeah, and then maybe we already said that, but yeah, he says the list goes on. As the high man / woman that you are, you must defeat and dominate these demons little by little. Okay. Look at it as an adventure video game. You start little by defeating small bosses, minor demons, collecting experience and weapons that help you continue advancing, since each time the bosses are more complicated. Finally, the last boss, and by her the hardest, but you take the resources to fight him. This last boss is the King of Demons, sexual lust. This guy also has a complicated like system, like that Pua guy.
Yeah, this guy is jacking off to the whole thing.
Like he's like trying to do it in like it's like, all right, visualize it in a helpful way, but he's using such a weird allegory. Someone said oh yeah, and then there's a comment. Someone says, agreed, pedophilia is right up there with pornography, but I think it has created the most harm to society more than any other sexual concept. Yeah. I feel like if you start saying that, like, that's leading somewhere bad, even if you mean it as, like, oh, they're both awful. Like, like, what does that do to your psyche if you, like, relapse and just, like, go on X videos once? Like, that must,
It puts a stain on your soul when you break down and re-Google Morrissey shirtless pics 2010.
Yeah. Oh, and then I sent so this is Discord. Did I send the Roe v. Wade? Oh, I sent that twice. Yeah, I want to read this one. So this is anti-sex. I'll just read like the description of the subreddit just to give people a better idea. But it says a subreddit for the discussion of anti-sexuality / anti-sexualism. Anti-sexuality is broad class of ideas that oppose sex and sexuality. Notably examples sex-negative feminism, anti-porn, anti-prostitution, voluntary celibacy, and some same-sex repulsed asexuals. Oh, some sex repulsed. I thought it said same-sex repulsed asexuals, which is a really fun identity to have. Yeah, I'm asexual, but like only towards, other kind. Yeah,
no homo, I'm asexual.
See, this is not an incel space. This is a sub intended for the developing anti-sexual philosophy and a safe space for those who are sex repulsed. So I'll read
the top of all time post is also pretty good. But we can get into after that. It's called I Hate It Here.
But it says, so this one is Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade. This is a great achievement. What this means is that humans value something, human dignity, more than they did sexual pleasure and then hedonism. This is such a monumental event for us as well because of this. Because society is shifting in the wrong direction for such a long time. And now there is finally some big shift in the other direction. Like this is like reading on Roe v. Wade is that it's like is that it's done by like people that just don't like the idea of people having sex, and not like like Catholic psychopaths.
I mean, one of the same. They're kindred spirits in a way. There's nothing on here in the little clicking around that I've done in the past 15 minutes. There's little on here that is much different from my own like Catholic school education, or like the line for conservative.
Yeah,
Catholics.
it's like it was hard to suss out because it felt like I couldn't tell if they were like small being like Tumblr asexuals or not, but it's like they're.
It's more like social justice warriors, but if the social justice was like pro-life and really lame.
I know some
even lamer, sorry.
I know like a couple like Volcel people, and they're like, they're fine. Like they're not like too like moralizing about it, but they're but this is definitely something else. Oh yeah, and then the top comment is just someone saying it only affects women, not men. They're just saying that like it wouldn't really do anything, and that's just from someone called Hyperborean Wanderer, and their like Snoop profile picture is just a woman with long hair and a frog hoodie. I just like the combination of Hyperborean Wanderer and frog hoodie.
I think that's a guy. It looks like it has like a 5 o'clock shadow. Oh, maybe. Or something.
Yeah. Are you clocking the snoo?
I'm trying very hard to clock the snoo. But all his posts are on r/anti-sex.
Like I can barely stand it.
Here it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Can I read this? This is really good. Oh, okay. My God, this is
you can skim
copy
also.
paste. I'm just giving this a little look-see before I can barely stand it. This is a final call to arms to revolt against the degenerate world. Humanity is slipping further and further away. Every day the insanity consumes what little light is left in this cold, dark world. And that's exactly what the sexual world is. At the end of the day, above being disgusting, vile, and degenerate, it is simply a cold, dark, empty shadow casting itself over a dying... Oh my God.
This is like the intro...
Dying field of meager hope and morality, soon to cover whatever we have left.
This is the intro to Dark Souls.
What? Yeah, this is something you can send to the police.
I'll read alas, has the anti-sexual ever really had a true standing ground in the first place since the beginning of humanity? We fought to cling to our bastion of light, only for the very pillars of our strongholds to be knocked down over forthwith by our own kindred merciless servants of the ever-present degeneracy, shunning us away, casting us into the dark corners where they believed we would simply fade away and be forgotten. How they were wrong. We are here. We are stronger than ever. Along the ages, our solitary travels. Yeah, I guess they would be solitary. Through their wastelands, cities of decay, built on false pretenses and fruitless virtues, have led us further to the final truth. Every one of their revolutions, every revolt, every uprising, all but meager exercises in futility. Their seemingly faithful strive towards morality, pride, honor in every city, every kingdom, every nation, every empire. Nothing, for this is the false notion of sex, being the epitome of evil, was weighing them all down all along, long after this subreddit falls, long after I take my final breath, long after the downfall of the West, which should arrive at its final demise any day now.
Ozymandias, jeez, calm down, boo-boo.
The anti-sex movement shall fight on, for we have endured in the shadows for our entire existence. Are we really going to let the degenerates take us this time? No. Even though every path I travel through the media, through life interactions, through observations, their degeneracy never fails to shine through. It makes me sick. Sometimes I feel as though I am stranded on an island, ever sinking, lost to the violent seas of sexual degeneracy. Every time I see these sexual things, I think, is this really all we are? Reduced to discussing objects of no purpose? I sure am not, but they are, even though they want me to be. I will completely revolt against it. Years of pondering this, I've come to a conclusion. Let them think these things. Let them flail around helplessly in their sea of degeneracy. We are better than that. We don't owe them an explanation. It's not my job to educate you. He didn't say that last part. They aren't entitled to anything. They aren't worth it. They can stay oblivious, briefly entertained by the insanity they have trapped themselves in. We will be watching from above, knowing. Oh my god.
Top comment, slow clap.
That is so.
Jesus
this
Christ.
I like his sort of ambiguous history of the anti-sex movement, how they're more powerful than ever. Yeah.
Yes.
There's
yes. It has a very Act of the Apostles type vibe of
There's
it.
Esoteric lore. It's it is sort of like Dark Souls in that it's giving you the outline of events, and then you probably have to go into this guy's comments to find the full lore. It's like reading item descriptions.
Yeah. It's like you're watching Incel Star Wars. The scroll at the beginning is 20 minutes long.
I like that. Yeah, I like that he laments that he's fucking like Oswald Spengler lamenting the fall of the West. Yeah, that's so fucking fun. Yeah, I like the idea.
If you're just joining us, we're reading the script for Oppenheimer, the future Michael Bay movie for next year.
After he sees the nuclear test, he said, "I have become Death Destroyer of Worlds. Also, I can barely stand it. This is the final call." He also mentions Reddit.
His last post was 25 days ago. Being a volcel is possibly the most rebellious thing you can be. This statement goes for both men and women equally. Men are expected by society to have sex with as many women as possible, and their worth is based off of that. People use the term virgin for men as if it's a bad thing. And you can even argue that men have just as unrealistic beauty standards as women, and in some cases even more. However, I was thinking as a woman As a woman myself, how being a volcel is powerful for women specifically. First of all, no one even considers that there are women out there who are volcel. Everyone assumes they're all men. Also, both right and left hates us. Every time I say I'm a volcel, even in conservative spaces, I'm met with disapproval. Actually, that's pretty true. That is very true.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of. I've been to a lot of these places where like church mixers or whatever, and some lady will be there, like a daughter of like someone, who's coming home for the weekend or for the holidays or whatever. And she'll be unmarried, maybe in her 30s. And every single fucking guinea, Night of Columbus makes a fucking snide comment about oh, and when are you going to get some grandkids for your mom and dad?
Yeah. I can imagine.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, that's fucking... there is so much... I might, have to read this over and over again. I might just, start quoting it, just sort of, in conversation, inadvertently. It's like how Felix will just, made us all, accidentally, start using, vocabulary from that podcast after XXX Tentacion died. with like, yeah.
Oh yeah. Mom's basement.
Like that's where like this clout shit is funny came from, and now that's just something that's like in my vocabulary. Yeah, I'm just gonna say like the fall of this subreddit, or after this subreddit falls.
Yeah, after the fall of this group
of
DM.
this group DM, after it has hollowed out. My ideas.
I will maintain my position that Big Dave is a bottom and would always be a bottom, and he does not have top energy.
I will scroll for as long as I need to alone to find a video of Big Dave.
Donald Bode will never forget that he is a low-key kind of queer for being.
This one.
He's cancelled for queer baiting.
Speaking of queer baiting, here's one from Anti-Sex. Male and female sex is the most disgusting sex.
Hey, man, welcome to the club.
I'm going to read the body text. This might be controversial since most of us are hetero, parentheses, not sexual though, heh. But I think heterosex is the most disgusting type of sex there is. I think it's because the way the male is bigger and stronger than the woman. The woman is almost always submissive, is almost always a submissive person being penetrated. It looks humiliating and rapey to me. Women and men are not the same. Women and men are different, and physically, mentally, spiritually, they do not match. I think gay and lesbian sex are the most fair type of sex because they are both participating in the same gender, therefore it looks fair and okay. I'm not saying that gay sex is fine though, I hate all types of sex, but for me, it'd be this: hetero sex is worst, and then gay sex, and then lesbian sex is the best, and then parentheses, because lesbian sex is not invasive and penetrative. I welcome y'all to a civil discussion about this. Also, sorry for my lack of refined words, I am not a native speaker. Wow. That's a lot.
Well, I think, first of all, I think it's kind of beside the point, like rating them and ranking them. Yeah. You know, shouldn't you be, like, on principle? Shouldn't you be equally against all of them?
I think he's laying out that he's just it's because heterosexual sex is the worst because it's not fair, like with body types. And then gay sex is more fair because it's two dudes, but it's still penetrative. And then lesbian sex is the best because there's no penetration. And I think he might just think that lesbian sex is only scissoring. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I think someone needs to tell him about tops and bottoms.
He just thinks that gay men have sex by docking each other. Like he's just,
Yeah, or like cuddling or something.
Just thinking about how gay sex works, he's like, well, they probably put both their penises together in some way, and that would involve penetration. It's not as bad as...
They have some sort of machine.
Yeah. I don't know what happens, but it can't be as bad as a penis and a vagina. All right, what's this? I'm seeing what else they're... they're also on something called Escaping Prison Plant, which I thought was going to be like one of those subreddits for people that are like documenting like getting out of like Alex Jones stuff and becoming a normal person. But no, this is about escaping the prison planet that they think they're on, which is probably...
Yeah, I've heard about this subreddit before.
I need to go on there.
It's really weird.
To go on there. Like more. I'm seeing what they're Prepper
type subs are always so good.
No, definitely.
So good.
I'm going to look at the comments. Agreed, I would not let anyone invade me, especially a stronger male. I don't know if I would let anyone invade me either. It's just so invasive, it makes me feel inferior when I'm going about it. Nature is brutal. It's not beautiful. The whole nature's beautiful thing is a lie to keep humanity going. Wow, these people are fucking... Yeah.
What?
I mean, I guess they're fucking like doomsday preppers.
Yeah, no, they're like ready to live in the salt mines for 1,000 years. They're trying to live in City of Ember.
And there's people saying like, I agree 100%. And then someone said in the bottom comment from user Vomit Kink is just, oh dude, this is rad femme shit. I guess that... I don't know if that's the main concern I would have, but maybe. I mean, I think it's something else entirely. I don't know. I want to do it like every once in a while, but I don't think he's posted about it in a long time, but like I want like anytime like Lil Boozy posts something transphobic, I just want to like reply and say like, uh-oh, it's like, yikes, he's in his turf era.
To be honest, I think like a very basic level homophobia needs to make a little comeback. Like they're having sex in their booty hole.
I mean, compared to like the current
here.
homophobia, which is like, you know, I think that a teacher is gonna.
Here's one from.
Son.
There's a comment here from a worried brother too.
Wow.
Let's see. I understand what you mean, and because of the inherent nature of, given the power dynamic of straight sex, looking from an ethical and moral perspective, you're right. But on a physical level, gay male sex is the most disgusting IMO. It's so unhygienic because nature didn't make our bodies for that. I also think this post is a dangerous territory. Redditoi's got to be offended. LMAO.
I don't know.
And then the OP goes off and was like, oh, I didn't say gay sex was good. I think it's unnatural and weird. I don't think people should put anything in their buttholes.
Yeah.
Just such a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is fucking like advanced homophobia. This is like the fucking like phrenology of homophobia. I think these guys are more like a homophobia hipsters. That's a good point.
They're bringing it
back.
They're old school.
Yeah, they're like afraid of like all teachers being groomers. It's like not just like, you know, a gay or trans teacher, but they're like, you know, I know my son is like smoking hot, and I want to you know, protect him from any teachers that might get at him for his, you know, smoking hot. But I was just thinking like that whole like I was thinking, you know, obviously like the like teachers grooming kids is ridiculous, but I was just like remembering like in school about like when would like all my teachers were always just like so busy that I could never imagine them ever having time to like groom a kid. That's like the main thing.
Yeah, I would wonder how that works. We had one like teacher who was a little flirty with the students. Our choir teacher, Miss Heine. I went to a private Catholic all boys school, so we had a special little deal where we didn't have to take PE if we took like an arts class. So like everybody who didn't want to take PE or like already did sports would like take choir, because that's like an easy like A class and you don't have to do PE. So like it was just a bunch of retards going to the poor Miss Heine's class, and it was all like the most like airheaded dumbass, like son of a Honda dealer owner, you know, fucking lacrosse dipshits, people who are just like a walking set of abs and barely anything else. And yeah, no, they were trying to fuck her so hard, and nothing. Yeah, it's like, you can't even get the teachers to fuck the kids. Like, you want them to groom them now? You expect them to be groomed?
Yeah, no, it's like,
they don't have the emotional availability to hold space in their hearts for the child they're molesting.
Yeah,
okay.
No, it's like all the classes are like 30 kids, and then it's like I can't fit like grooming this kid into my schedule. I have to go buy school supplies with my own money. Exactly. It's like, what am I gonna like? What gifts am I like gonna get him to like lure him? Am I just gonna give him like fucking Kohl's cash?
Or maybe that's why they do it, because like they're really young and they don't have any expectations of dates. You know, if you're going with an adult, like as a teacher, I'm sure it sucks because it's like, oh, we're going on a date to the fucking food truck like an asshole or whatever. We're not even gonna sit down because that's all I can afford. But I still wanted to seem like that's a non-starter.
No.
17-year-old Timmy, the cute high school diving star, is young, dumb, full of cum, and won't look at you twice for saying in and out as a date.
I did have like, I mean, there's like stories of like, I mean, I don't know how like common it is for like I feel like everyone's like had like teacher sex scandals are like somewhat common, but it's like, you know, almost always like, you know, like straight, and then like, and that's like not like the panic that people are like trying to create. but there is
Whenever it happens, everyone's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
lucky son
Yeah,
of
no,
a
that's
bitch."
like the New York
Yeah.
Post will like post it, and then like everyone that's scared about groomers is like, nice. I did have a teacher sex scandal, and it was one of the like we had like this cool like teacher come up from like New Orleans. It was Jacques. No, I think I was listening to one of the Jacques was in St. Paul actually for a while, right? Or I think Minneapolis.
Not that I
think
know,
I heard him
or
mention.
not that I
and was,
remember.
like, very surprised.
Maybe. I don't think it's totally out of the possible.
He's just one of those like, it's
Yeah.
like there's like multiple people that I've learned were like in like the Twin Cities at the same time as me, and it's like really fucking freaked me out. Like I learned that Felix lived like a couple blocks away from me for like a few years while I was like 12 to 14, and I just know that like there was at least one time where he saw me being like just the shittiest possible kid in like fucking sweatpants. It's like, oh, that is really unsettling to know. Is that like, he just probably saw just like the worst point in my...
Yeah, there was a point in time where he really wanted to kill you for being like... For blasting Dan Carlin's hardcore history on the bus.
Yeah,
on
he
your
was
phone
like,
speaker.
God damn it. I go back into his tweets and just like look, he's just like talking about like, who's this gay kid?
There was a kid. Sorry, there was a kid in. I bring this up because it's very tangentially related. When Chapo FYM was first starting up, I volunteered to help them, like set up their socials a little bit, which included Discord. I set them up with Discord and with the roles and stuff with the server and stuff like that because they didn't know shit from Adam. So like I was tasked with being like the first mod, right? 1 month in, this fucking this kid, the 18-year-old kid comes in, just like bragging about going to the same school that Felix went, like on purpose, choosing to go to like University of Minnesota, St. Paul, or St. Thomas, and like making pilgrimages to like where Felix used to be a bouncer, like at the bar. And like just like brag to people that like, I kind of listened to this podcast called Chapo Trap House. The bouncer here used to, or the guy who used to be bouncer here, is one of the podcasters. Like we're pretty tight, like that kind of thing.
That is awesome.
Yeah. He did that for like a month and then had a gigantic meltdown when I impersonated Felix and like told him to go fuck his mother or whatever, like leave people alone.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, it's like
that was during my really shithead era.
No, that's fun.
I would not have done the same thing. I did not manage that correctly.
Yeah, no, but I think there was like because I knew because I was in like some group chat with Felix and he like referenced a specific store. And he like mentioned like walking a block from there, and it's like the same store that like I go to. It's like a fucking corner store that I go to for shit. It was like I just like had to sit down. It was like, oh fuck. Did I send another one? Oh yeah. So there were a few things that people want to ban. I think we'll probably be ending it like. I guess like after these three, maybe. Oh no, you know what? Fuck, I was going to talk about the teacher sex scandal at my school. Was that we had the yes? Oh yes, we had this like cool teacher up from like from New Orleans. He had done like work there, doing like fucking like rebuilding stuff for like their schools after like Katrina. He was telling us these stories about like how he worked at some fucking like elite New York, not private school, but incredibly selective public school that's basically private. Like a magnet school, and then he like got like in the news for like taking these kids to Cuba because he like knew some like guys there, and he was like fucking like he was like a communist or whatever. And we all thought it was cool, and then we saw that like he left the school suddenly, and I was like, why did you leave? And someone was like, oh, they found that he was growing pot in his or like weed. I don't know. I said pot. Yeah, like they were really, I think that's what the person told me was pot, but it was like yeah, he's like, oh, he's growing weed in his basement. And we're like, oh, that's cool. It sucks that he's gone. But and I think I like followed up with someone like a year after, like after I graduated. I was like, whatever happened to him? And they were like, oh yeah, no, he was arrested for possession of child pornography.
Wait, sorry, you cut out completely for that last bit. He was arrested for
child
what?
Pornography. Yeah. Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's
like,
brilliant.
oh damn.
Oh
that
my
is
God.
not epic. That is not an epic teacher thing to do.
During my time at a Catholic schools, I don't think I ever had a teacher sex scandal. We had a student sex scandal that was pretty bad. Yeah, like a chemsex thing. Apparently the whole volleyball team was caught like right before a game. Everyone was high on Molly and like we're just rubbing on each other.
That's
Like doing skin on skin
God.
contact and like like giving each other massages in the locker room like 5 minutes before like flag drop.
that is such an awful time to do Molly. It's like,
I remember I was there because it was a home game and I was in the choir. So they had us sing like the national anthem before every game. Because why wouldn't you?
you were at the basketball team.
We were playing the national anthem and these fuckers wouldn't come out of the locker room.
Yeah.
For like 20 minutes and these guys would they wouldn't tell us anything. Like I think we only found out because a friend of mine worked at the dean's office, and everybody got expelled. This was our senior year, so none of them walked.
That's I mean that's just like such a shitty time to take. I do like the idea of a choir at school, like at the basketball game, like they're just having you all go like ba 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 ba.
Yeah, kind of. It was us and band. Yeah. They had like 200 kids. Sorry, between all of us, like for like the homecoming.
Well, you know what
stuff.
they should do is what is suggested on Anti-Sex, which is ban massages. They're really just another form of prostitution. Someone oiling you up, rubbing their hands all over your naked body. You want me to believe that your perverted subhuman desires aren't behind it? Get real. This isn't even mentioning the vast majority of massage parlors give hand jobs to their customers. Vast majority. Professionally or privately, massages should be heavily regulated by state, if not made illegal outright. Vast majority.
The vast majority. Wow.
The idea that it's like, you just go in there and there's just like nothing you can do. Like you're getting your dick pulled. Yeah,
they have a menu for shit that they can do to your dick. I mean, I guess they kind of do. There's only so many. Types of massages.
But I mean, I think someone pointed out that it's like a lot of them are at spas, and that's like probably not going to happen. It's also like a lot of women get massages.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck?
Just like, I can't imagine a woman fantasizing about like, ooh, what if at the end of this massage, this guy just started fingering me? Like just the least sexy thing. Just like,
what if this hairy Turk started putting his digits inside of my gonad?
Just after like hitting me so hard on the back that it like comes close to fracturing my rib, he just started.
One of the first replies: I think they should only be for medical reasons, whatever they may be.
I mean, it's just people like clarifying. Like, I don't think that's what massages are, man.
TBH, a lot of medical stuff also only exists as an excuse for doctors and patients to engage in prostitution. There's actually no real reasons to have doctors look at your genitals, for example. Every argument in favor of genital-specific medical fields is hugely pseudoscientific.
This is like coming back around to Tumblr shit. It's like, you're like pulling out a card. It's like, do not look at my genitals if you don't have to. It's like, well, it's like, well, you said that you have warts. It's like, just, if you can just take like a blood test, that's fine, but I don't want you, Yeah,
the replier brings this up. Well, what if the person has an infection on their genitals and the doctor needs to clean it?
Die.
OP. The difference is that the medical industry obsesses over genitals to an extent that they simply don't do over other body parts. We literally have specialists for genitals specifically, urologists and gynecologists. Tell me those fields aren't infested with perverts. We don't often have arm doctors or foot doctors or stomach doctors, but we have an entire medical field specifically for sex-related organs. Obviously, we've overdone
Arm
things.
doctors. I mean, I think that's like probably a thing, but like I think he misunderstands like why it's not as prevalent. Like an arm doesn't have as many like things going in and out and like you know, differences with like other parts. That's
Guys, I just had a really bad time with that diarrhea doctor.
Yeah. I like the idea. Yeah, it's like the medical industry is obsessed with genitals. It's like, no, they're obsessed with giving people heroin.
Yeah, no, exactly. They haven't created a pill or an addictive pill to like like hook into queerness, you know, like they haven't made a version of poppers that's addictive. You know what I mean? Yet.
Like they didn't even like. Yeah, it's like the medical industry isn't. They're not obsessed with like jacking up the price. It's like Viagra isn't something that like you have to take every day to live. It's like they're not gonna like jack up the price of that. It's like you need insulin to live. So that's what they're gonna
exactly.
Yeah.
Or opioids if you're already hooked.
Yeah. It's like
have you had the bad enough luck where you broke a bone between like 1983 and 2021?
Yeah.
Boy, are you fucked. Boy, aren't you just a fucking money bag for the pharmaceutical industry?
No, I think, what was I? Oh, yeah. And so then the next one.
Well, the ASMR one that you linked to is also insane.
Please.
Can I read it? Okay, this one's from Jeremy 111111111. ASMR should be illegal. Nothing more than another form of porn, and should be treated as such. ASMR artists, as they self-righteously name themselves, should all be charged with obscenity and fined at the very least.
No, this is like on the fence between like hardcore Catholicism that like your fucking grandma is into, and then like Tumblr stuff.
Yeah, some Sharia Catholicism ass
like
bullshit.
Sharia Catholicism or like small bean Tumblr stuff, where it's like I shouldn't be required to show you my genitals. You know, even if I have like a horrible infection.
They both went to the same church growing up.
Yeah, it just different applications of that ethic.
My parents were church parents. They were very Catholic, and so they made me join like the youth group or whatever. And there was this girl on there who was like very like she reminds me a lot, or this sub reminds me of her, where she was very kind of friendly and flirty, and like in a weird kind of like that's what she said horny way, but also she was a freak for mass and she knew all the prayers and everything.
Yeah.
So no, it's a little weird where they're like slightly uncomfortable with, like the idea of it, but it titillates them like way too much, and it just makes them really, really like that disconnect fucks them up so bad.
I dated a Catholic girl in high school. Like she wasn't even that personally Catholic. I don't think she just went to a Catholic school, and her.
Yeah, or her parents like took her to church
her parents,
every.
The insane thing was her parents, because she was adopted, but when her parents were like in their fucking like, it must have been because she was like we dated when she was 15, so her parents must have adopted her in their early 50s, because when we were dating, her parents were 62, and they were like the like hardcore Catholics that like. The only time we could see each other was when we were like walking around this track at a community center, and her mom was like getting her steps in.
Yeah.
It was like the most insane thing. And then I just like, just fucking, like one of those life events.
That's crazy.
One of those life events I'm like surprised. And then what we've definitely talked about on the podcast, which is, and she was like kind of like a Tumblr person. She wasn't like into Catholicism really. Like I don't think she was religious personally, but she was like into Tumblr stuff. And the way she broke up with me was by coming out as gray ace, which is like, sometimes I'm just not attracted to you. It's like, oh yeah, yeah,
Oh no,
yeah. We're
Oh,
on
man.
good terms now. It's just like,
That's
yeah,
pretty
everyone
bad.
sucks when they're 15.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
And I guess the last,
My beard broke up with me
Yes.
through text. I know that feeling. When I was 15,
yeah, no, definitely.
tough day.
I guess the last one I'll read is just this is in reference to, I believe, that Halo TV show. Someone cross-posted from the Ace subreddit. Ace Icon, the Master Chief, just got straightwashed, ... And then the sort of like crestfallen emoji. And the top comment is, I used to play Halo so much as a kid. That's it. That's all the...
Disappointed light skin
Yeah.
emoji is what I like to call it.
Have y'all read the books? Not the Ace Icon you think. If you actually read the Halo books, you would not be betrayed by the false prophet that is Master Chief.
Well, if you're reading the Halo books, I think this is the right subreddit for you.
Yeah, you might as well just... yeah, but I think that's gonna do it for... Yeah, no, we've definitely gone pretty long, but way over. This was fun, though.
Oh my god,
I
yes.
love this.
No, I had a total blast.
So if you're listening to this, follow Palma at... I always forget your username somehow.
Yeah, it's Sweet X Palma. What's more
Yes.
important to me, I barely tweet anymore. To be honest, where most of my activity or where I try to be active more often than not is on SoundCloud.
Yes, definitely I'll plug that.
So please, I would love to plug my SoundCloud
Okay.
playlists. Just go to soundcloud.com/Palma Ltd. I try to do like a little radio
Yeah.
thing. With samples, a lot of really cool stuff. It's soundcloud.com/sweetpalma.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. But yeah, it's really cool. Over the past month or so, I've been listening to a lot of prog rock. So if that's not really your thing, you can go a little further back and listen to a 4-hour mix that I made of folk and Brazilian disco.
If you,
It is somehow
if
really
you want to
popular.
listen to music that like only 20 people have heard, and half of those people are dead, follow Palma for that. Mm-hmm. Just an insane ability to find that stuff.
If you like
Yes.
tape hiss.
Well, yeah. All right. See you guys.